And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to day number 2 of ESL Masters Spring 2024. Welcome to the knockout bracket of DreamHack Dallas. It's great to be back once again. A second day in a row. Hope you've all been doing well. I'm his live VIP here on the CranKy Ducklings, and we're going to be covering the knockout bracket tonight. Yesterday, of course, we were live with a 12-hour stream. It was it was a brutal stream. It was a brutal event. I mean, hey, that's how these weekend events go. Day 1 did end up passing. We went through the entirety of the open stage and the entirety of the winner stage as well. And now we have entered the knockout bracket. Oh boy, and our players are raring to go. You can see here on the title of the Twitch channel, or you can also be told here, we're going to be diving into GuMiho versus Nice as our first series of the night in our TvP. And as we are entering the knockout bracket, the knockout stage, I believe these are all best of 5s? Oh boy, let's go. Yes, I was just confirming all matches are best of 5s here tonight, so we can sink our teeth into some of these players, into these matches. As a reminder, the winner of this series advances on into the next round in the knockout bracket. Meanwhile, the loser will be eliminated from the entirety of the tournament. No holds barred here. We're going to be kicking things off with GuMiho versus Nice, followed... Never mind, as we did not select the correct races there. We're going to be starting things off with GuMiho versus Nice, followed by a Laser versus Classic right after. So we have our first 2 matches lined up. I believe we will have 2 more afterwards. So I believe 4 series in total. Then after that, I believe we will be here we go. Sorry, I'm just sorting some things out in the lobby. But yes, after that we're going to be going into the second round, into the third round thereafter as well. Yet to be determined which matches we're going to be casting then. But we're diving into our initial TvP. Oh, and if you're in the chat, we got to get the gamba going, papi. True. To get the gamba going here. The predictions will soon be open. Meanwhile, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Cloud9. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing himself, currently teamless. It is Nice. We go again. Today I'm going to be covering this on my own. I mean, a big shout out to Yakuzaku. He was of course casting with us last night for the entirety of the 12 hours. I remember I'd only asked him like, Papi, just like it's okay. Like only half 6 hours and you're good. But no, he was a trooper, did commit to the entirety of the broadcast, and towards the end things got a little bit chaotic, things got a little bit loopy, but it was all good. And much love to Yaku for bearing with me and being a part of that initial broadcast. Ooh, but now we're here, and again, today should be a shorter day. Should be just a couple of matches here, and nowhere near as long. This should not be another 12-hour cast. Copium. Okay, copium, Bobby, copium. Predictions open. There you go, and if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Until then, we're settling into our game. It is going to be an economic opener here from GuMiho, going for a Rax Expand setup as we've only taken 1 gas geyser. Meanwhile, right outside, Nice is setting up with a proxy of his own. Cybercore is on the way first, Zelda's in production, and do we go for... I'm curious if we're going to be waiting for the Cybercore to finish and go for a Proxy Stargate. I mean, Proxy Stargate has made a return as of late. The reason for this is the change to the Cyclone. The Cyclone has been nerfed, was nerfed in the most recent patch, and with the nerf of the Cyclone, that means the Proxy Void Ray is that much more effective. And there it is. There's a Stargate. Void Rays are on the horizon. Now, we should be leapfrogging forward with some shield batteries, pylons and shield batteries on the low ground. Void Ray is going to be pushing through and came with the production, and it's going to be necessary here to get into Vikings, to prioritize anti-air, for GuMiho to try to hold on. So far, it's been ideal for Nice, as GuMiho did delay his factory in favor of the CC. Here we go. One is ocean-born. As the Zealot is going to be dipping in, Marines so far in position, they do defend them away. Again, Nice just keeping GuMiho's attention here on the low ground. Meanwhile, here comes that shield battery, here comes another pylon. Again, we're leapfrogging forward with these shield batteries and with these pylons, encroaching upon the bases of GuMiho. GuMiho is yet to confirm he is going for a safety cyclone. Thankfully, there is that cyclone on the way. That will help, but again, this cyclone is not as impactful as it once was. We're going to need more than that, as GuMiho is going for a 1-1-1. Thankfully, with this starport, we can get into Viking production. There's another shield battery on the way. Oh, just making sure the probe doesn't get stuck, and that first Void Ray is about to pop out. First Void Ray is upon us. So we're pushing in towards that main. Likewise, we have an Epson Zealot on the low ground as well. Marines do reveal themselves, and they're going to try to chase down the Gateway Army. Oh, we almost do get the first Adept. A lot of damage dealt already. Void Ray joining forces with the rest of the army. Shield batteries, they're not just done. Ooh, just finishing up, just in time. They do finish up. Can be too big of a Marine, but Vikings are now on the way, and Vikings will be... Oh, actually, we're going for the medevac instead. Okay, GuMiho, the confidence. He started the Viking for a moment, but no, he believes that he has enough on the ground. I mean, hey, the Marine count is looking solid right now. If we had opened Reaper, then it'd be a different story, but no, we have plenty of Marines to work with. Second Void Ray has arrived. You have a line of shield batteries behind this. We do have the overcharge. And that line is advancing forward. Natural base is going to be denied. Do force the lift. Do force it back. Marines still ensuring that we can't commit to the shade. We cannot dive in. Not like this. Nice has to be so careful with how he does engage. We'll focus on the tech lab at least. Oh! Shield batteries keep the Void Rays alive. Just barely. And the tech lab does go down. We're going for the factories. The reason why we're making tanks, tanks are a great way to just take control of the low ground. Take control of these shield batteries and just annihilate this. Shut it down. Ensure that there is no ground support for the Void Rays. And here we go, the tanks. It's their turn to slowly push forward. Viking getting some hits in. Shield batteries keeping these Void Rays topped up so far. They are topped up. As we are up to how many Void Rays? Four Void Rays in total. Ugh, we do take a lot of tank shots to the face. At least the ground army. Again, very delicate micro here from Nice. And not afford to lose a single one of these Void Rays. Gets a couple more Marines, but that Viking count and the Cyclone count is getting higher and higher. It is building up over time here. Oof. Yeah, and these Vikings are not... Sorry, these Void Rays are not gaining any ground. Going for the scan, now getting within range of the low ground pylon. It's going to be shut down. Yeah, the tanks, they put in a lot of work. They depower the gateway. Shield battery falls, and now there's no shield batteries. Oh, that's going to be the death of the Void Rays. They fall one after the other. GG gets called, and GuMiho shuts down the aggression, shuts down the cheese, and takes game one. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, very fortunate here. Even though GuMiho hadn't scattered across the map, he did open up Reactored Marine into a 1-1-1. If he had gone into Reaper Hellion, for example, if he had delayed his starport, could have been a different story. But again, he did happen to have what he needed, the tools to defend back at home, and he completely shut it down. We saw him not really lose anything really in the process, to be able to just, yeah, cool, calm, and collected, go into his medevac production, into his tank production thereafter. Just a really solid setup from GuMiho. Okay, as we're settling into game number 2. Settling into game 2. And yeah, I barely even got to speak about the players here, just because things kicked off with the initial proxy Void Ray. I didn't expect to see that again in this series. It was a really cheeky way to start the best of 5, but we shouldn't be seeing it again, and not in this series. At least not in these next coming games. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Cloud9, leading the series 1-0. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player. The blue Protoss representing himself, currently teamless, down in the series, but looking to bounce back. It is nice. We go. So who we putting the house on? Yes, predictions are now closed. They're now going to be closed here for the series. Best of luck to those that did place their bets on either GuMiho or Nice. I'll make sure we have predictions going for each series here tonight. We'll try to make sure. As once again, we do see GuMiho getting into his own opener. We saw in game 1 it was a Rax expand setup, and we're seeing the same thing here in game number 2. GuMiho going for the Rax into the CC into the CC. Potentially on the low ground, we could try and take a safer approach on the high ground instead. Regardless, should be an economic build from our Terran player. Meanwhile, Nice back at home. How do we approach this, and how do we shake things up? Again, Nice, he doesn't have to be cheesy. He's not like Haas, for example, another Taiwanese Protoss player from Nice's region, of course. Doesn't have to be hyper-aggressive or cheesy. We have seen plenty of macro, more mid-game oriented play out of Nice. Definitely has it within him to contest and to take it to GuMiho, but has to be playing at his best. So we'll keep an eye on our Protoss player. So we do go for the Gate Cyber Expand, standard opener from Nice. Meanwhile, back at home, interesting. So with the single gas, guys, I assumed it was going to be a Rax Expand, but no. Okay, GuMiho goes for the factory first before the command center. Very interesting. With this, we're going to be entering our initial Reaper to move out across the map. We went Marine first. Okay, very safe play out of GuMiho. He's checking for proxies, making sure he doesn't get bamboozled again. I mean, I'm sure the proxy Void Ray did catch him off guard. I mean, he handled it beautifully, in a very confident manner, don't get me wrong. Very confident manner. And you can see him getting into a safety Cyclone. Reaper's moving out. Likewise, so is the Adept, and we have our tech of choice. Once again, going to be a Stargate, but this time it's back at home, and this time it shouldn't be for Void Rays. As it was a fun way to start the series, but Void Rays should not be on the horizon. This should be either Phoenix or Oracle. Phoenix or Oracle. And we do manage to delay the CC. SB goes down. Oh, Marine as well, not bad. At the same time, Reaper does slip in. Threatens the mineral line, and I believe didn't get much more scouting information. Yeah, we didn't get behind the mineral line. Did not get eyes on the Stargate yet as we check the natural. Trying to bypass that Adept. It looks like we will. And the Adept slightly out of position. We get a full scout off. We confirm the Stargate, and we confirm the initial units. We confirm the Phoenix. Not Oracle, not Void Ray, but a Phoenix instead. So a much more standard opener here from Nice, opening up Stargate Phoenix. And this can lead into a couple of different things. This could be for the beginnings of Phoenix Colossus. I know a lot of people love that composition, Kappa. It could be Phoenix Colossus. It could be Phoenix into charge lots. And we have some different options here, different kind of tech paths that Nice could go down. As the Phoenixes will give him map control, or at least they should. They should be able to shut down drops and maintain that map control, harass across the map. Speaking of, Phoenix does dip in, does confirm the 2-on-1 setup. Interesting. Okay. I know I said that it does confirm the 2-on-1 setup, but this isn't seen too often here, as we do not go for the add-on swap. But Stim is on the way, Medivacs as well, rushing into Bio, and soon moving out with this Stim timing. Okay. Going for the add-on swap, not for the starport, but for an additional Rax. Now getting into 3 Raxes. Behind this, I was curious if we were going to be seeing a Robo. That is not a Robo, that is going to be a Twilight Council instead. So this is not the beginning of Phoenix Colossus. This looks more like Phoenix Charge. I say Charge because you typically don't go for Blink if you have Phoenixes, because they both have the same role, or a very similar role. Where Phoenixes, they shut down Drop Play and Medivacs, so do Blink Stalkers. But we shall see. As a GuMiho, he does just send it right through the center of the map. Phoenixes, they're forced to recall. Army is spotted. There is a shield battery, thankfully. Nice. Yep, we spoke about it. There it is. There it is. Charge is on the way. GuMiho has yet to confirm whether it's a Robo or a Twilight Council. Has yet to piece it together. does typically require different responses. Phoenixes, they do manage to get across the map, forcing out a stim. And the Phoenixes will get the hell out of here, but at least it forced GuMiho to back off. Forced him all the way back home. Likewise, Nice was in position, so GuMiho didn't want to overextend. And the aggression has subsided. GuMiho still banking up. Stim is done. It is completed, but we're still waiting for additional medevacs, combat shields, working up towards a second tank. Tank count is getting higher. Xiaomi moves out. Phoenixes do punish GuMiho a little bit. 2 SCVs go down. Nothing major, but some nice damage dealt here by Nice. Able to get some damage done. As a GuMiho up. Oh my god, almost catching a Phoenix. Likewise, almost losing a medevac. But these Phoenixes are getting very low as GuMiho is getting ready for his push. Combat shields just about to finish by the time the army gets across the map. We're now up to 2 tanks, and we are pulling the boys. Let's go. We're going for the all-in. Nice confirmed with the lack of SCVs at the natural. Now realizes what's going on. Racing back home. Trying to pick up whatever he can. Opting not to chase down some of these Marines. And Nice engaging with the army in the center of the map before the siege. Bleeds out 2 Phoenixes. We do have Charge. Charge is going to be quite impactful here. But the Sim City turrets are thrown down. Tanks will be sieging. And we have to go. The overcharge not going to be quite in range. We do pick up the tanks at least. The tanks are lifted. Zealots putting in some work here on the low ground, but the Zealots are going down. And the Bio Army is just too strong. GG gets pulled. GuMiho takes a 2-0 lead. Ooh. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, Nice just wasn't able to slow down the army enough as it was moving out across the map. Usually you want to pick away at the Marines. You want to like pick away at the Marines, maybe force a siege, maybe force an unload. But GuMiho did successfully get all the way across the map, set up his tanks, and had plenty of bio to work with there to just mow his way through all the Zealots, all of the Gateway army. Last Nice just could not engage. Likewise, he was fighting out of range of the shield battery and any potential overcharge, which he did mention. That could have changed things potentially as well. But alas, that was not meant to be. And we are getting ready here. Oh, thank God. We are getting ready for our next game. Getting ready for game number 3, and this has been a pretty fast series so far. Like, even though it's a best of 5, these games have been very quick. They've been very decisive between our 2 players. I'm hoping we can get more of a back and forth here. I mean, to be fair, GuMiho did go for a 2-base all-in, and I mean, again, if you're not quite prepared for it, if you don't slow it down, it hits like a truck. Hoping we can get more out of this, but we'll see how this story ends. We'll see if it can continue. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Goldenora, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Cloud9. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, struggling in this series. Need your help, need your support to fight back and to make a series out of this. It is Nice. Go. And again, GuMiho did have a long one last night, as in he was competing in the open stage, in the open bracket, and GuMiho did make his way through Ryung, through Creator as well, to make it out of his bracket. We weren't able to cast him, if you remember. GuMiho vs Creator was on the main stage, on the main stream. Wasn't covered by us. But GuMiho already showing what it was made of. And now, spicing things up once again, going for a proxy racks across the map, double gas opener back at home. Once again, aggression is upon us. Here we go. Okay, GuMiho is a dominant force in StarCraft. When it comes to the best Terran players out there, GuMiho, I wouldn't say that he's necessarily, you know, the best at like TvT or TvP or TvZ, but GuMiho is always a wild card. Like, you can never count him out. Put him in a series against Maru, against Serral even. Like, GuMiho can take maps and can cause upsets. If you recall, it was even earlier this year where we had a series between GuMiho and Serral, and it was back and forth. It was great to see, to be honest. I think a lot of people were not quite expecting GuMiho to pose much of a challenge, but again, it was just such an unorthodox series. So GuMiho is never one to count out. As we're going for a proxy 1-1. Oh, let's go. This might just be a proxy 1-1-1 for Hellions and Medevac production, as we are going to be switching things over. There we go. Reactor is now on the way. First Reaper does dive into the main base. And how many probes can we get? So far, good control at a nice. Oh, does pull away in time. Does preserve most of his workers, but one probe finally goes down. Adept will now arrive, but we get a second probe as well. 2 probe kills so far. Behind this, Reactor is finishing up for GuMiho. Can continue that Reaper production, as it is a proxy 1-1-1. Now, I assumed that this was going to be for a Hellion drop into the main, but no, we have a tech lab on the factory. Are we going for a tank drop? There's no shot where add-on switching and going into something like Banshees. Oh. Drilling Claws? No shot. Are we rushing into Drilling Claws? The armory is on the way. So I have seen this one base all-in variation from back at home. Bunny did this build at the start of the season where he went into a 1-1-1, rushed into an armory, rushed into Drilling Claws, and went for a committed mine drop. That's what I assume this armory is for. For those that are curious, in the new patch, you do need the army to research Drilling Claws, and that will... Oh my, going for the Thor drop, never mind! Of course, otherwise we would have seen Winter Mines. So it's going to be a one-base Thor drop here from GuMiho. GuMiho, he's having fun. He's having fun. This is not the first thing that came to mind here in the TvP, but I'm here for it. Yeah, my brain was hyper fixated on like the Drilling Claws potential, but I mean, hey, we would have been making Widow Mines if that was the case, and no, we're rushing into Thor production instead. All right, let's go. We have our first medevac that's to help juggle the Thor. We have a Liberator behind this. I'm ready for the chaos. I'm ready for the nonsense. Nice has yet to piece this together. Nice hasn't really scattered much across the map. Hasn't confirmed the proxy factory or starport. Now will with the Adept, but now it might just be too late, as we're dropping into the main base. GuMiho looking to style a little bit here in game 3. Thor is here. We do have a shield battery in the main base, thankfully. We do have an Immortal as well. Immortal production kicking in. Can check away at the Thor, but the Marines will zone away the Immortal. The Immortal having a hard time engaging. The Thor taking a lot of damage. Overcharge is popped. And Nice is holding the line. With that overcharge, putting in so much work, and we shut down every single Marine. And again, with the Immortals coming out, so we already have one. We have a second Immortal out as well. Like, this Thor isn't really posing too much of a threat. Oh, we're going for the tank. Up. We go for the dive. Tank goes down. Going for the Immortal as well. We do pick off the... We go for the Thor. We do pick off the Immortal. Thor does survive. Second Immortal does come out. Racing it in. Liberator taking control of the main base. We do get 6 probe kills. Not bad. And the Thor can focus down some of these buildings. The shield battery and the robo. But Nice is going for the kill. Chasing down the production. The tank barely will not escape. Yeah, there's no place for it to go. SCVs are going down. Again, GuMiho is trying to have some fun here, but he is being camped. Whatever comes out of the production should be shut down, but at the same time, there's still that Thor and the Lib combo in the main base. Okay, we do have 2 shield batteries on the low ground. We have those 2 shield batteries, Stalkers as well. With the overcharge, we can hold our own. Oh, but here comes the Lib. Oh my god. The Liberator does so much damage to these Stalkers, even with the overcharge. And we do deny any mining. 0 economy here for Nice, as that Liberator stands its ground. And there's just no mining. we have control of the main and the natural mineral lines. Forcing the recall into the main. And again, Nice, he can hold against this, but he just needs some money. Stalker's coming in. Oof. Do take a big hit. Stalker's trying to get into a better position here, and it looks like 1 Stalker goes down. Ooh, 2 Stalkers. Almost 3. We have mustered up a large enough army. Liberator finally does fall. But Nice is down to 12 workers. And back at home, GuMiho is transitioning out of this. We have a CC. We have a Rax. We have a 3 Rax, I should say. floating back home. This has been a very messy game, but GuMiho is actually ahead. Like, GuMiho, he has an economy, but the scary thing is, there's not much at home. What is our army looking like? We have a Thor out across the map. We have 2 Marines, a bunker just finishing. It's so clutch. If this bunker wasn't here, then potentially Knights could break in. He might still. Marine does fall. Nothing loads in. Oh, just barely. Did have that Marauder. And GuMiho holds. GuMiho holds the line. Oh, we're okay, Papi. We're okay. As we are going to be dodging Stalker shots with the juggling. We dodged the shots. He's crazy. Gets 2 more probes, gets the hell out of there. Thor is still alive. Meanwhile, that factory's still producing, by the way. We have tank production across the map. Just making the best use out of that proxy. Nice is looking to stabilize. Oh no! This time unable to dodge the shots as the Thor goes down. Thor does finally fall. And Nice is on 2 bases. This is a scary thing here, is that because Nice has 2 Nexi, he can make 2 probes at a time and catch up, even though he went down to 12 workers, has since made up for that. GuMiho is still yet to expand, and are we entering a world where this game stabilizes and we get a mid game out of this? Is this happening? Is this real? Are we going into the mid game? I mean, for now, we have the Prism on the way that's going to allow us to harass across the map. We have a Bay follow-up. This should be for Colossus, but interesting. With War Prison speed being researched, this could be for Disruptors as well. I mean, I'm feeling a Colossus drop a little bit more viable here, and there it is. Colossus is on the way. So Nice looking to spice things up himself with a Colossus drop. Meanwhile, GuMiho mustering up an army, a small force, but a potent one. Opponent 1 as we are moving out. We are moving out across the map. We have 2 tanks. Nice getting in position. Did spot the army. Oh, juggling there from GuMiho, able to avoid those shots. Does siege up. Will bully the army back. Thankfully, there are 2 shield batteries. Nice can hold on to his natural. Attempted immortal drop on the tanks. Oh! Has to be careful to overextend. Stim is done, so it's combat shield, so it's concussive shell. GuMiho has expanded. And with help of this overcharge, we should be able to break out, but oh, those 2 tanks. Yeah, they just do so much in the back line. And we are rallying across the map. Nova does connect. Takes down the first tank. The flanking Nova. Forget about the Colossus drop. It was Disruptor. Jumping on the main army, once again diving on the tank. Oh, but we bleed out so many Stalkers. We may have gotten the tanks, but it cost us the Gateway army. Zelda going down Stalkers as well. It looks like GuMiho has done it. He's broken through. We have 1 Disruptor here. 2 Disruptors even. Nervous go off. We get 2 Marauders. Up. Get a Marine as well. But again, there's still just too much fire, too much Terran. Boys are being pulled. And GG gets called. It becomes too much to handle, and GuMiho will take the series 3-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. The hell did we just watch? GG, well played. Congratulations here to GuMiho as it does take the series at 3-0, advancing on into the next round. My condolences to Nice as he is going to be eliminated from the tournament. GG, well played. Again, Nice, he was, I believe, able to compete on the main stage last night. I believe he was being covered in the winner stage, if I'm not mistaken. So at least he was able to showcase himself a little bit more. But this series was very quick, very fast, very chaotic, even here in game number 3 from both sides, right? We had game 1 with Nice going for the proxy Void Ray, game 2 with GuMiho going for the 2-base all-in, and here in game 3, GuMiho going for the proxy 1-1-1 Thor drop. Wild. But I mean, that's GuMiho for you. True, true. I mean, this was a very GuMiho series, 100%. So that's from here. Nice will be bowing out. So my condolences to Nice again. He's been competing for a long time, has made himself more known, especially in the Southeast Asian region. But unfortunately, here in DreamHack Dallas in ESL Masters Spring, just was unable to bring it here against his opponents. But he went up against some of the best players out there. For those that are curious, in the winner stage, he went up against Cyril and Raynor. Like, this is a rough tournament. It could have been anyone that would have been knocked down by both Cyril and Raynor, and now GuMiho as well. So there's no shame in falling to any of these players, and I do wish Nice the best moving forward. Do wish him the best. In regards to his career and in regards to competing in StarCraft. Otherwise, congratulations to GuMiho. He does advance on into the next round. And does he have an opponent? Let me just quickly double check here as we head on over to the knockout brackets. For those that are curious, knockout bracket, it's in its name. Players are being knocked out left and right as we speak. They're being knocked out left and right. It looks like Stats vs. Creator is currently on the B stream. I believe that's being covered by Beomorph and Nathanius. Meanwhile, we have Clem vs. Rogue that's being covered on the mainstream. By the mainstream casters at ESL_SC2, and Steadfast is covering Bjorn versus Trigger. Now, I believe that we're going to be wrapping up all of the first round first, followed by, you know, the next round. So we will most likely be jumping in mid-series into Bjorn versus Trigger, as it looks like Bjorn and Trigger are... It looks like Bjorn and Trigger are in Game 3. They're tied up 1-1. They're tied up 1-1, so regardless of what happens, that series will continue, which means we can follow them. So we will be jumping in once they're open, once they're available. Once they wrap up the game they are currently in. So that is going to be the plan. Once all of these first 4 matches wrap up, then we're going to be entering the second half of the knockout stage, where we're going to be casting a Laser versus Classic. Just as a heads up, a Laser v Classic is going to be on this channel a little bit later on down the line. Again, we're just going to be waiting for Bjorn v Trigger. You can catch up on the chat. Hello, hello, Belair. Hello, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Quack, papi, quack. That was something special. It was. Proxy Marauder would have been a straight up win. But Proxy Marauder would have been less fancy. would have been less stylish. Do we start? Sorry, I'm just confirming whether we can start Classic versus a Laser, or whether we're going to be waiting for all the other matches to wrap up. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we return, we will have another series. We'll have another match. See you soon.